Okay, Geraldine, if you can take us through some of the work that you currently have on exhibit, that'd be great.
It's kind of random, things that went with each other. So I was in my collage phase, my iron-on transfer. I was in my neon art phase, and this is from the Museum of Neon Art in LA, which is fabulous. This is new work.
Are these all on photographic paper, or are they on
They're all on photographic paper. Well, I take that back. If they look like photographs, if they look like they're on photographic paper, they are, but I will tell you the ones that aren't.
Okay, good.
This is not on photographic paper. This is Polaroid image transfers, which are a system that was used years ago, and we were all doing it, and then we stopped all doing it when they stopped making Polaroid film. But you take the Polaroid film, it comes shooting out of the camera. You don't give it the full time. You pull it before the full time is up, and then you take the negative, which is the black sticky thing, and you put it on paper, and you peel it off after a couple of minutes. And this is why they're all different colors, because I use different filters, and they have all different, places where the backing peeled off.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was a fun thing to do. But you move on, you get a digital camera, whatever. This is another example of Polaroid image transfers. These are on silk. And I love working with silk. It was just so much fun. This is just another photograph of the legs by a sculptor friend of mine. I wanted to get the whole piece in, but I couldn't, so I got the shadow in. This legend is graffiti on a wall in Paris, and again, like this one, it's a Polaroid image transfer on silk. We're really into my Polaroid image transfer period. This again, more Polaroid image transfers, and I cut them apart and I sewed them together with copper thread, which was kind of fun. Then we begin the travel section. This is these people who are wearing Renaissance clothes, and they're all over the place in Europe, especially at Easter time or at Mardi Gras. And I believe this was Mardi Gras in Italy, and this was Easter in Spain. But it looks like they could be the same person. Here's my fast food and collage area. So the top of the McDonald's in Novato, and collaging the ketchup. This is Paris, and I just loved all the reds. I thought it was just such a great composition. This is a dress, a portion of a dress that a friend of mine made out of zippers, and then she put an embroidery in, so it looks like an unzipped blouse or something with a tattoo. This is Nepal, Kathmandu. That's really old work. I think that was the late 80s. This is newer. It's a reflection of a house on the hood of my car. I'm really getting a little more abstract the longer I do this work. Big glass, also new. And these pieces as well. And now we're back to the Polaroid transfer again. And that's the positive. That's the thing that you would get the print from. And I just loved the way the color turned out. So I used the positive instead of the negative. All of this is much more recent work. Monopoly through wine. If you can see the Monopoly board, there's Chance.
Huh.
And an image of that just sold at Art in the Redwoods, which was really nice.
Yeah, I admired that one. I put that in the announcement.
Yeah. And this is, I like taking pictures of paint on sidewalks and and roads, and this is, you know, the handicapped spot, the outline of it. This was just a wall that was just painted with just, they splashed the paint on and then scooped it around, and I just love the way it turned out. And this is a margarita. Not a margarita, a Bloody Mary. I like taking pictures of other people's food. And yeah, I've been doing this for 50 years. I've done stock photography, I've done assignment photography. I've done the, you know, as far back as the Women's March on Washington to keep abortion legal, to make abortion legal, and then it was made illegal recently. And I did the fiesta, the balloon fiesta in Albuquerque a few years back, and I've owned my own galleries before, and don't now because it's too much work. And that's it for me.
That's great, Geraldine. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, Jim, if you could just kind of guide us through some of your pieces, that would be great.
I started doing this about, 6 or 7 years ago. I've been a home builder and designer for 50 years, and I've built Sea Ranch, the Napa Valley, throughout the San Francisco Bay Area. But I began to develop mobility issues and wanted to keep working. So I decided to start working on some serving boards, and it evolved into knife blocks as a friend asked me to do one for him. But I began thinking about serving boards because I lived in Japan for years, and I went back many, many times to visit and really admired the Japanese woodwork and sushi boards and serving boards in general and trays and such. And so I thought I'd develop my own style and build some things of my own, fabricate some things of my own. And what you see is the result.
Great, great.
There's a lot of variety. I don't think much about it. I mean, I assemble the woods in front of me and rip them down into certain dimensions, and I just start gluing them together, and what I get is what I get. I have a certain style I've developed now, I guess. You'd call it a style. And so my work is variations on that, on a theme, basically. The boards, excuse me, I put on feet. I call them geita style. You know Japanese geita?
I was in Japan for 6 months.
Wooden clogs. That
yes.
A lot of young delivery men wear in the winter to keep their feet out of the mud and rain that was in a lot of Japanese streets and still is, but they don't wear clogs anymore. In any case, I like that style of raising the board and elevating it, and so I call these the geita style of boards.
Yeah. Why don't you pick one up and just show the detail on it, Jim?
Okay. These long thin ones, I don't know if I have any in these show. Many of them have already sold, but I call these baguette boards because they're just long and skinny like a baguette, and then they have feet. And you might notice that I signed this stuff Pop J Works. My granddaughter started calling me Pop J. So I said, okay, that's me, Pop J Works.
Should be Pop J Son.
Pop J Works, and I say, still with 10 fingers. Because I'm working with, a lot of machines, woodworking machines and such. But essentially, what you see is what you get. I like I say, I don't think too much about it. I do think about the assembly and the craftsmanship involved and what have you.
Could you reach that knife block and we can talk about it?
You want me to take it out?
Yeah. So that's laminated a bunch of pieces.
It's laminated, and then There's various inlaid pieces. This is leopard wood. This is acacia. This is zebra wood. This is oak. This is poplar, which is really a very inexpensive hardwood, but I really like it because it takes on a nice green hue, olivey green hue after it's oiled. And you'll notice in some of the other work I use poplar a bit. And
How deep do those inlays go on the surface?
they're about 1/4 of an inch.
Yeah.
I mock up on these, I mock up mirror image blocks, right? Glue them up, and then I run them through a sander. I have a automatic sander that I run through and kind of get them all down to the same level. Then I take them over to another saw where I dado in these slots for the inlay.
Yeah.
Then I glue in these various inlay pieces and then run them through the sander again. And all the way around, just to make it smooth. I glue up these blocks. They're about 1 foot long to start with the 2 different woods in them. And then I cut them up into smaller pieces and then laminate them up into a board. And
Then the final finish brings everything to a flush surface.
brings everything to a flush surface, running it through a drum sander that I have. And then I finish everything with powered oils. He's got a company down in 𝗵𝗹𝗵𝗶 where they make food grade mineral oils. And I just like this very soft finish, you know, and of course they're all food grade, so, and the glues I use are food grade, so these can be used for, you know, cheese boards and such. You wouldn't want to use it as a cutting board because a sharp knife will just ruin it.
Yeah.
And then it's very difficult to refinish. So these are essentially just serving boards of some sort for cheese or bread or, you know, meats or what have you.
Does the owner have to re-oil them?
Yes, I do. I have back here, I have care instructions. So after they are used, you should wash them off with warm water and a good dish soap, mild dish soap, and, you know, to clean any residue off and what have you. And of course, before you first use them, you should do that too. And then dry them off. And then if the finish is, you know, a little duller than you'd like, then I've got oil that I give out with the purchase of each board. So you can repurchase these. But Howard products are sold in probably, I don't know, every hardware store in America.
Good.
And the last time I talked to him, he said, you wouldn't believe this. They were sending container loads of our product to China and Japan.
That's great. Thanks a lot, Kim. That was really informative.